Hey guys, it's Alex and welcome back to the channel. The other day I was rewatching some of Best Wishes and specifically watching some of the tournament arcs. The tournament arcs are the highlights of Best Wishes in my opinion, and I wish we got to see more of these smaller tournaments in other series. So that's going to be the topic of today's video. I'm going to be going through all 7 Pokemon anime series and writing in a tournament arc into each series. Let's get right into this video. So first off, I want to explain what these tournaments are in case it's been a while since you've watched Best Wishes. These are smaller tournaments that happened throughout the series that anyone could enter compared to a Pokemon League with its badge requirements. These were great arcs because we got to see interesting matchups, with characters fighting other characters that you'd never expect to see fight. For example, we got to see Silent battle Trip. And what's another time we've seen a companion battle Ash's rival? But it wasn't just Trip who got focus in these arcs, as some of Ash's less important rivals got a ton of focus too, like Stefan or even Luke and Bianca. And of course Ash's companions got their own rivals and even battled Ash themselves. So with all of that, I think it makes sense why I'd want more of these types of arcs. So let's start inserting them into other series. So let's start things off in the original series. I decided this tournament should take place in the Johto part of the series since Kanto and Orange Islands were pretty short and weren't in need of anything extra. I see this tournament happening somewhere before Ash arrives in Cyanwood City because there was just a ton of filler there and the series would benefit from something interesting happening in those episodes. I don't know what the reason for this tournament existing would be. It'd probably just be some random annual tournament from some random city. Maybe an unseen Elite Four member could host it like Karen or Will. For the trainers competing, I think Ash, Misty, and Brock's inclusion is obvious. I also want to take this opportunity to bring back Casey, since she was never in the league and deserves to battle Ash somewhere. And to spice things up, how about we add in the Legend of Thunder characters, Jimmy and Marina? We saw Vincent, aka Jackson, in the league, so I think this would be a great place to debut the other 2 members of the group. So with those being the contestants, how will the tournament play out? I see this being a top 8 tournament as opposed to the 16 contestant tournament of the Best Wishes series, since there aren't as many participants. The first round would consist of 4 battles, and start with Jimmy and Marina easily winning their 2 battles. Then it's on to Ash vs Casey, where the 2 of them battle each other with their Bayleafs. This would be the first time they battle each other as equals, and both would give it their all before Ash eventually wins. The final battle of this round would be Misty vs Brock. I absolutely love battles where companions battle each other, so I couldn't pass this opportunity up. Misty would have the type advantage of course, and end up winning with their water type expertise. Moving on to the second round, this is where our heroes are going to be faced with the Legends of Thunder, Jimmy and Marina. Ash is battling Jimmy, where it's his Cyndaquil against Jimmy's Typhlosion. This is a great moment for Cyndaquil where it gives its all against its evolved form. I think it'd be great if Cyndaquil even evolved here, however, I don't know if that would happen. Regardless of an evolution, I do think Jimmy is a stronger trainer than Ash, and Ash would end up losing this battle. The other battle in this round is going to be Misty vs Marina, a water battle of Poliwhirl vs Feraligatr. Misty has to get used to countering the contest style moves that Marina uses, and ends up doing well during the battle. But just like Ash, she ends up losing to the more experienced trainer. The finals are then Jimmy vs Marina, which Ash and his friends all make sure to watch. Even with the type disadvantage, Jimmy ends up beating Marina and he wins the tournament. Ash and company bid farewell to their new friends and continue on to the next gym. Alright, next up we're on to AG, and I need to decide if this should happen in Hoenn or during the Battle Frontier in Kanto. I'm going with Kanto because I have an interesting idea for this tournament. Ash has just arrived in Viridian City by himself and reaches the Viridian Gym. However, instead of battling Agatha, it seems like they're going to be holding a tournament to decide who should be the temporary gym leader until a new one can fill in. Coming straight out of the Hoenn League, Ash decides to enter and test his skills. Most of the trainers Ash ends up facing happen to be other trainers who took on the Kanto League back when Ash did. Ash battles Melissa and then Asunta, winning both battles with some of his Hoenn Pokemon. Once he reaches the finals, it's a battle against Agatha where it plays out the exact same as it previously did, with Ash losing. Agatha assumes the position as the temporary gym leader, and Ash continues on to his journey to the Battle Frontier. And now we're on to DP, which actually had some tournament arcs of its own. One of them being the Twin Leaf Festival Battle Challenge, where the winner went on to battle Palmer. Ash entered this tournament and won, however the entire tournament was skipped over in a 30-second long montage. So for the purposes of this video, I'll reimagine this tournament as though it were an actual arc. Just like before, Ashdod, Brock, and Barry will enter, however I'll also add in some new members to this tournament. Some rivals like Nando and Conway will make an appearance, as well as Holly and Angie returning from the tag battle and Summer Academy, respectively. I don't plan on having Paul compete, as he'd probably win if he was here, and I don't see him caring for this festival at all anyway, so he wouldn't want to enter. This tournament will have 16 contestants in 4 rounds. The first round starts off with Brock vs Nando. Since Nando was a rival of both Ash and Dawn, I think it would be interesting for him to battle the third member of the DP group. Brock would end up taking the win after a close battle. Another match in this round will be Dawn vs Conway. Since she was only ever his teammate in the tag battle, it would be interesting to see them fight. She would end up winning with her contest techniques. The other matches of this round would include Ash, Barry, Holly, and Angie winning against random trainers in some smaller battles. On to the second round, it starts with Brock facing Holly. Again, this is a battle of tag battle partners fighting, and I just think it would be hilarious for Brock to have to fight someone who he had his crush on. In fact, him being a simp would leave him unable to give it his all, and he'd end up losing to her. After that, it's Ash vs Dawn, because I love when companions fight each other. It would be really interesting if Ash used Weasel and Dawn used Ambipom to show the two Pokemon prefer fighting with those respective trainers. However, this wouldn't really work because Ambipom left Dawn before the Twin Leaf Festival. Actually, it's BS that Ambipom left. I'm just gonna pretend it never left. So Dawn uses Ambipom here. Weasel ends up defeating Ambipom, and Ash progresses to the next round. Angie and Barry also win their own matches. Now onto the semifinals, Barry ends up beating Holly pretty easily. The other match here is Ash vs Angie, which definitely needed to happen at some point during DP, so I had to write it in here. It's an electrifying match, with Pikachu beating Shinx in the end. Finally are, well, the finals. Ash vs Barry will be Pikachu vs Empoleon, where both Pokemon are pushed to use their abilities, Static and Torrent. In the end, it's Pikachu who takes the win. After that, Ash is able to fight Palmer, which plays out the same way as before, with Ash and Grottle giving it their all, but ultimately losing. Best Wishes doesn't necessarily need another tournament since it had 4 tournament arcs, but I might as well throw one in. This tournament will take place at a battle club near the end of the Declure Islands, as the end of Declure was very boring and really needed something important to end it off. This would provide proper closure to Declure and Best Wishes as a whole. This tournament will include all of the normal contestants we've seen throughout Best Wishes: Ash, Iris, Silent, Trip, Stefan, Bianca, Luke, Cameron, Georgia, and Burgundy. And also Alexa will be there, not competing, but rather recording the whole thing to write an article on. To start off the first round, Silent is battling Luke. Silent actually lost to Luke in the club battle, so this is a perfect time for him to get some revenge and win. Also in the first round, Bianca will be battling Trip. Bianca has a habit of losing in pretty much every other tournament, so I want her to at least win something here. As for Trip, he's actually lost in the first round of pretty much every tournament he's entered except for the Junior Cup, so it's just natural for him to lose in the first round here. As for everyone else who's entered, they'll win against some random trainers. Now for the second round, we'll have some closure on some rivalries. Iris will battle Georgia, and Silent will battle Burgundy, both defeating their rivals. Ash will battle Bianca, something that really didn't happen too much since Bianca battled Cameron in the league. In a battle of Pignite vs Embor, Ash's Pignite will be the winner. Hell, maybe it could even evolve like his Torracat did at the end of its series. The final battle of this round is Cameron vs Stefan, where Cameron wins. As much as we all hate Cameron, he is plenty strong, and it makes sense for him to be winning. For the semifinals, we started off with Ash vs Silent. Ash battled Iris plenty of times in the BW tournaments, but never really battled Silent. Since Best Wishes started with Ash battling Silent at his gym, I think it's kinda symbolic for them to have a rematch right at the end. Oshawa will take the win against Pansage, just like in their gym battle. Then it's Cameron vs Iris, where Iris and Dragonite can't stand up to the threat that is Cameron's Hydreigon, resulting in a loss. For the finals, it's a rematch between Ash and Cameron, where Pikachu beats that stupid Lucario. I wrote this battle in solely so Ash could finally beat Cameron and actually win a tournament in Best Wishes. After the tournament, the Declare saga ends, and Ash would return to Kanto. For XY, I think it would be interesting to take an important battle and insert it into a tournament to expand on the effects of that battle. The battle in question is going to be Ash and Sawyer's fight from episode 119, where he lost to Sawyer. This tournament would include Ash, Serena, Clement, Sawyer, Tierno, and Trevor, as well as adding in Astrid because why the heck not. Alon won't appear as Ash had just fought him a couple episodes earlier, and I don't see him caring about entering some random tournament. I think it would be cool if Lysander held a tournament to gather Mega Evolution energy, however none of the characters participating are using Mega Evolutions at this point, so that really doesn't work. But maybe it could be hosted by Drasna or a different Elite Four member. The first round would include most of the main characters winning against random participants, with there only being 2 battles of note. Ash vs Tierno is first, and I wanted them to get this battle because they never got one in the league. Ash would win pretty easily though. Other than that, it's Clement vs Trevor, solely because Trevor sucks and I want him to get destroyed by a gym leader. On to round 2, it starts off with the Sawyer vs Ash battle from episode 119. Ash gets overconfident and can't activate Battle Bond, which causes a loss, and starts his depression. If he can't win this tournament, how could he win the Kalos League? It doesn't help that Clement and Serena both win their battles in this round, which makes him think he's become weaker than them. Onto the semifinal round, Clement fights Astrid and defeats her Mega Absol, cementing him as a pretty strong trainer. Sawyer battles Serena and easily defeats her, moving on to the finals. Sawyer battles Clement, where Clement does a lot of damage, but in the end it's Sawyer's win. This really depresses Ash because even though Sawyer is his friend, Ash just lost him and had to watch him defeat 2 of his best friends as well. This leads into the Wolfric battle and training arc that we all know and love from XYZ proper. Most of these tournaments so far have happened halfway or late into their respective series, but for the Sun and Moon tournament, I'm gonna have it take place much earlier on in the series. Like really early, right around episode 5. This would be a battling lesson at the Pokemon School, including all of Ash's classmates except for Lily, and also including students from other classes. And it would be used to introduce the strength of Ash's classmates and give Ash's Rowlet some battling experience. This tournament would start with Ash battling Hiroki, who is one of the students we know of outside of Ash's class at the Pokemon School, and Ash and Rowlet would pretty easily defeat this trainer and move on to the next round, along with all of his other classmates. In the second round, it's Ash vs Mallow, which I decided to put really early on in the tournament since she's Ash's weakest classmate really. Rowlet would have a hard time battling Bounce Sweep because of how nice it smells, but eventually ignore the smell and knock it out. As for the third round, this is the only round where we're going to see multiple battles outside of just Ash's battle, because it starts off with Sophocles vs Kiawe. In Sun and Moon, Sophocles considered Kiawe to be a sort of rival to himself, but I feel like this relationship wasn't built up too much, so I added a battle in to give them some more build up. Sophocles would lose here, but be determined to rematch Kiawe in the future. The other battle in this round is Ash vs Lana, since Lana is arguably the third strongest classmate at the school. Rowlet would win due to type advantage, but Lana would still put up a good fight. Finally, the finals are Ash vs Kiawe, their first ever battle. Rowlet gives hits all despite the type disadvantage, and does some solid damage to Turtonator. Kiawe decides to use a Z move, and that ends up taking out Rowlet. This sparks a rivalry between Ash and Kiawe, as well as inspiring Ash to want to master Z moves and continue his island challenge. And finally, Pokemon Journeys. This tournament could happen anywhere in the world and would be a great place for Ash to battle strong PWC opponents. I think most people making a video like this would make some sort of Galarian PWC tournament with gym leaders and Bede and Hop and Leon, which is exactly why I won't be doing that. I want to write something a bit more unique, so I'm going to create a tournament that's not in Galar and Ash won't even be in it. Well, let me explain. The plot for the tournament is this. Lieutenant Surge returns to Vermilion after his training, and a ton of people ask to challenge him for a gym battle. Since he can't decide who to battle first, Surge hosts a small tournament where the winner can battle him first. Ash sits this one out, of course, since he already has the badge. Go decides to enter to see what a gym battle is like, and even Goharu decides to tag along to see what battling is all about. Other trainers from the city will enter, including Mina, who happens to be visiting the city right now like she does in the Let's Go games. The first round sees Go and Goharu fighting some random trainers from the city and both winning. Go picks from his wide variety of Pokemon, while Goharu and Eevee give it their all in their first ever trainer battle. For the second round, it seems Go and Goharu are fighting each other. I mean, of course Go is going to win since he has much more experience, however Goharu will be giving it her all, and finds battling interesting. In the semi-final match, Go finds himself faced against Mina, bringing his Steel-type Durant for a type advantage against her Fairy types. He ends up in a bug battle where he wins. And then it's the finals where he's up against Viscaz? Apparently she entered because she wants to fight her mentor just as much as everyone else. Remembering how much and how fast her Electrode attacked, he decides to bring along a bulky Pokemon that can take hits and dish them back out, so he sends out Greedent. Greedent takes every rollout that Electrode can throw his way and starts firing back with counterattacks. In the end, Go is the victor and is promised a match against Lieutenant Surge. Surge sends out Raichu and Go sends out Flygon, having specifically selected its ground type for the battle. Raichu is strong after training and has even mastered moves of multiple types, including the super effective Play Rough, which causes problems for Go. In the end, Flygon takes the win with its Earth Power attack, and Go is given the Thunder Badge. And that's it for the video. Wow, I did not expect this video to be this long, but I'm looking at the script and it's almost 4 pages long, and that's single spaced. I can hardly hit 2 pages when I'm writing essays for my English classes at school, and those are double spaced, so I guess that puts into perspective how bad I am at writing essays. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell me in the comments, and tell me what you would have done differently. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.